I didn't even check if this was working. Yeah, surely it is. Ah, we have to check anyway. There we go. We are back. WCW. Or just generally New Generation 1992. Getting kind of regular at this whole streaming malarkey. It seems to be going alright. I'm enjoying it at least. Last time we cut off a little short because my cat being a menace. So let's continue. I don't know if I explained this last time, but there seems to just be some missing WCW Worldwide, or as it is in this mod, World Championship Wrestling. So we're just going to be booking WCW Saturday Night, which happened on this night instead. It seems more or less the same, nothing too different. Yeah, so let's continue. Tony Schiavone bought pizza for the entire locker room. What a guy. Pat Rose did some funny cartoons. Ann Anderson did some drills. Ann Anderson has taken Eddie Guerrero in his wing as his protege. That is kind of cool, to be fair. Marcus Bagwell has been getting ripped a little because of how much he's starting to be influenced by Rick Rude, even taking on some of his mannerisms. And Vinny Vegas was brought before Wrestlers Court because he made a mess. Nice, nice. We don't need to address the locker room. So if I turn this down, I believe Power Hour is just our... Got to show history. Yeah, Power Hour is our Power Hour is our Autobook show. Nice. Move these matches up. I just want to make it known before we get too invested in this. I am also cooking a chili. Very much looking forward to it. So there is also just a chance at certain points I'll be like, just need to run stir me chili, which is fine. And this makes it very much seem from like everything we've done that I stream in the kitchen. It's not entirely false, also not entirely correct. It's kind of a little open plan kitchen living room area. Desk is in the living room. Would like a second bedroom. Gonna get into my personal life. But alas, housing constraints. So if we do WCW Hour opening. Perfecto. Select these. Just like a hype pre-taped video. Ole Anderson can be in it. Ooh, Dusty's made his way up to a major star. I think. Or is it Steamboat? No, it's Dusty, isn't it? Despite not really doing anything. Perfect, that's good for me. I'm currently drinking a kiwi and lime old moot cider. Actually don't think it's all that in a bag of chips. I think it's very nice. So let's do King Kluwer against Face Males. Where is he? Oh, he's finally made himself up to recognisable. Let's put him against Big Josh, who's already wrestling tonight, but we can change that. Time-wise, we're actually fine, so I don't need to adjust anything. Stick Kluwer over. We need to book it another minute. It's fine, just make it 5. Video featuring Scott. Video featuring the Steiners and the Dangerous Alliance. I always get those two letters mixed around. Just bad at typing. So Scott, Rick, who is it? It's Ann Anderson. Let's do Bobby Eaton, Larry Zbyszko, and Paulie. Perfect. Mr. Hughes against Van Hammer. Instead, let's do Vader against Van Hammer. So I feel like I haven't been given Vader his due recently. Video featuring Mitty Hyde and the Dangerous Alliance. just keep doing. I'm not even doing this on purpose now. So we have Missy Hyatt, Rick Rude, Arn, Heyman, Zbyszko, Steve, and I think it's just Bobby Eaton down here, isn't it? He's been getting the raw end of the stick as well. Oh, and Medusa, not King Clue. Perfect. Let's have the Diamond Stud. Let's do a 2v2 of the Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas against faces Brad and Scott Armstrong. Scott's already wrestling tonight, but again, oh god no, we can change that. Boop. And then let's instead do a 3v3 of Tracy Smothers, heel Dick Murdoch, and Ron Garvin against faces Todd, Chip, and Stallion. 3v3, yeah, it's fine with me. Let's stick Ron I don't know actually. Of all these people, actually, I'm happy to stick Tracy Smothers over him. I like Tracy Smothers enough to do that. Fans are expecting 65% matches. We're at 68, so we're not penalised. All looks good. Let's run the show. So we've got WCW Power Hour opening. Let's Get Dangerous guaranteed, so I was happy with that. King Kalua defeated Big Josh in 7:17 with a power slam. I forget these two have just good chemistry. So King Kalua, if I check his skills, track progress. So he is like, the more we use him, he is generally slowly getting better. I don't think he's... I'm just annoyed that he was given the WCW World title, if I'm honest. Video featuring the Steiners and the Dangerous Alliance. In a decent match, Vader defeated Van Hammer with a Vader Bomb. Video featuring Missy Hyatt and the Dangerous Alliance. And then, in a bout which had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Vinny Vegas and the Diamond Stud defeated Brad and Scott Armstrong when Vinny Vegas pinned Scott with Snake Eyes. The Armstrong brothers do not have good chemistry. Oh, there was a Ron Simmons promo in there. I guess I just didn't even see that. Just jumped over it for the main event. Which was Tracy Smothers, Dick Murdoch and Ron Garvin defeated the Stallion and the WCW Patriots when Tracy pinned Stallion with a jaw jacket. Solid. Booking team meeting we don't need. Sting has been talking to Sonny Tout a lot recently and is having some influence over his behaviour. Brad and Greg are now travel buddies, just leaving his brother out. We don't need to address the locker room. Alright, so what was going on Saturday night? Let me just... We're 8 minutes in. I probably should have just checked the chili that I was cooking before starting this, but here we go. Roasted mushrooms out so they can cool down. No, I just need to chop them and stick them in. Boil and mash them, stick them in a stew. So on this edition of Saturday night, we start off with the Three Birds defeating Thomas Rich and Tracy Smothers. Rich has a pin on Garvin, but Hayes comes in and plants Garvin with a DDT for the win. It's an easy little... Tracy Smothers and Thomas Rich seems like a decent team. I guess they got rid of... who was his tag partner? Steve Armstrong. Or I guess after they lost the title, it didn't really matter too much after that. All perspectives. Let's do the Fabulous Freebirds against Face Males. Let's do Bossman and Trout. That's fine with me. Have we done this match? No. Honestly, a quick little 3-minute Haze goes over. Angle, so we do a World Championship Wrestling opening. Four minutes, hype, pre-taped video. We can even knock it down to 3 if I'm honest. Nice. 3 minutes should be fine because I feel like we've got a lot of matches on this show. Hillman is on commentary next for the Armstrong-Morton match. After the match, Morton attacks Pillman, who had entered the ring. Armstrong was knocked to the floor as well. Instead, I wouldn't mind doing... who else was kind of involved in that little thing? So Billy Robinson, heel male. I'm happy to do Richard Morton. Richard Morton fell. Yes, I kind of feel bad for that. In fact, I'm happy to stick Johnny B. Bad in actually. So 6 minutes. We can stick Johnny B. Bad over. At ringside is Brian Pillman. I'm also happy to make this Steeler show. Boop, boop. So if I do... Just a little angle. Light heavyweight champion Brian Pillman is on commentary for the Robinson Bad match. So a little angle. 3 minutes. Brian, Johnny B. Bad, and Billy Robinson. Perfect. And then after the match... Ooh, after the match, Bad attacks Pillman, who'd entered the ring. Robinson is knocked to the floor as well. Again, 3 minutes, just to kind of get that world light heavyweight title something on the card. And I'm happy. I don't necessarily care too much about Richard Morton or Brad Armstrong. Just do the people that I like. Oh, sorry, Billy Robinson, Johnny B. Bad, and Brian Pillman. I need to be paying attention more. Eric Bischoff talked about the Super Bowl II party. We see some video of Sting's press conference. Sting talks about how he and Lex knew it was the big moment between them. The Dangerous Alliance broke up the party, and we will see that later. So, I guess just Eric, Sting, Lex, Holly, Rick Rude, Zabisco. Well, I guess Steve. There we go. 4 minutes pre-tape video. 5 actually might be alright. DDP talked to Eric Bischoff early in the day. Paige wants to talk to Terry Gordy and Steve Williams. Paige knows for a fact that Gordy and Williams are coming to WCW. Paige is tired of the suits, playing it off as if Gordy and Williams aren't coming. We don't need to do that yet, but is there any way I can edit the in-game editor contracts? Steve Williams? Oh, am I on New Japan? I do need to be all Japan, to be fair. Is he under Dr. Death or is he under Steve Williams? Yeah. If we can just change that to be in 5 days left. I know it's cheating, I know, but all Japan don't need everyone. Even if he is the Triple Crown Unified World Tag Team. I don't want to fight with them. Maybe I do have to. In-game editor, contracts. I actually kind of feel pretty bad. Let's give them 29 days, and if they want to fight, 28 days. I mean, it's different. if they want to fight for him, they can. Because I'm happy to just bring him in on a written for 9 months. I don't need him to be exclusive. So if All Japan, maybe if they're part of the, is there a way I can check alliance yet? Or during this point? No. If they're part of the NWA, which I don't know if All Japan are, then they might not be able to fight back. Dustin Rhodes and Brian Williams. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham are interviewed after their match. Eric Bischoff hypes up their contest at the Omni tomorrow night. Windham says that the bull rope bell is destined for Zbyszko. Dustin Rhodes will be wrestling against Cactus Jack. Dustin says he can get crazy too and hopes that Jack straps his boots on real tight. We did that match more recently. What did we book that for? That's fine. We could kind of edit all this together. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham are interviewed. Well, I mean, after their match. They haven't had a match. Interviewed. Eric Bishop has their match at the Omni tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So we can just have Eric as the interviewer, with Dustin cutting a promo, same with Barry Windham. On Cactus off screen and Larry Zbyszko. 4 minutes interview. We get the video from Super Brawl where Rick Rude confronted new world champion Sting. Sting asked some questions, saying that he would like to defend the championship against a lot of people all over the world. Sting puts over Luger as being the strongest one who he has ever competed against. The Dangerous Alliance enter the scene to cut the interview off, with Rude leading the charge. Rude tells Sting that he is the #1 contender. Sting refuses to drink with Rude, so Rude tosses the drink in Sting's face. Sting and Rude begin to brawl, with Rude getting the better of the champion. The Alliance enters the scene and attacks. Finally, some officials try to break up the brawl after several moments. Third angle. Does Rick Rude get to become world champion again? God, I miss Rick Rude. 1999 is just not a year, is it? It's not an age. In WWF until 90. Spent a year on the indie circuit and then he was here until 94. It just seems like he constantly suffers injury. Oh yeah, and then Rude wrestled Sting. And went back interviews after a suicide dive and had to retire. Returned to the WWF in 97. Then appeared on both Raw and Nitro in 97. Rude officially left WCW in April 99, last appearing on Monday Nitro Backstage Blast. Such a shame, man. They deserve the world. So fucking good. So Sting. Let's have Rick Rude. Bobby. Larry. Steve Austin. Medusa. And I guess like Lex off screen. Perfect. Eric Bischoff introduces the new WCW World Heavyweight Champion Sting for an interview. Sting says they're going to have a party at the Omni for Rick Rude and Steve Austin when he teams with Ricky Steamboat. Do we book? Is this just a house show they're putting over? Because I feel like they're really putting over this show, and I don't think we have anything. Maybe we should have booked the Omni show. Was this show instead? Who's the interviewing? Sorry, Sting. Cutting a promo on Rick Rude off screen and Steve Austin off screen. So many angles. Wait, are these all angles? Surely not. Oh no, right, so the matches and angles are separate. Alright, we'll book all the angles, then I'll fit the matches in. Bischoff talks with Johnny B. Bad. Bad gets Pillman at the Omni tomorrow night. Pillman says he has some unfinished business with Richard Morton. Pillman wants Morton now. Pillman shoves Bad out of the way to attack Morton. Bad knocks Pillman out with a left hook. Brad Armstrong runs out to save Pillman. Alright. We need to change that. Bad gets Brian Pillman at the Omni tomorrow night. Brian Pillman comes out and says he has some unfinished business with Billy Robinson. With Mr. White. What is it? It's the Simpsons bit. I think he's talking to you. Pillman wants Robinson right now. Pillman shoves Bad out the way to attack Robinson. Bad knocks Pillman out with a left hook. We're going to do Jushin Liger. Jushin Liger runs out for the save. Did we have anyone else in this? This Muta? Just post the same thing. So Johnny B. Bad, Brian Pillman, Billy Robinson. Can we still not turn him heel? I suppose he's only just debuted, hasn't he? Billy Robinson and Jushin Thunder Liger. Bischoff stands with United States Tag Team Champions Terry Taylor and Greg Valentine. Valentine says they have an open contract and will wrestle anyone in WCW. Hammer thinks that they will be WCW World Tag Team Champions soon enough. Taylor says that every team is afraid of them. Marcus Bagwell and Tom Zink run out to attack and they brawl in the ring. Taylor sends Zink into a ring post and Bagwell hits a fisherman suplex on Valentine and holds it for the cover. Taylor hits a forearm shot off the top ropes across Bagwell's neck before leaving. That's fine. If anything, we can make this the main event. But who did we do roster? Who do we do teaming with him? Ivan? I can do that. So instead, Marcus Bagwell and Ivan Volkov run out to attack the champs in the brawling ring. Taylor sends Volkov into the ring post. Bagwell hits a fisherman suplex on Valentine, holds it. We don't need the front run reason. Taylor hits a forearm shot. Bagwell hits a volley. Yeah. So Greg, is he in the storyline? Yeah. Greg, Terry Taylor, Ivan, Marcus. I'm gonna get confused with Hammer and think it's Van Hammer. So can we actually change this Terry Taylor picture? Because it is a nicer one. I've seen it on loading screen, so I know it exists. It's specifically that one that I like. Bagwell comes out for the sixth. Right. let's start this a little further. So we are, yep, done Brad Armstrong. We have Dustin Rhodes and Wyndham getting a squash together. 2v2. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. They can be heel males. Pat Rose and Rick Rogers. 4 minutes. Stick Windham over. That can move here. Cactus Jack. Johnny B. Bad gets a quick win. Instead, we could do... who else is kind of involved? Is Brian Pillman in a match? He is. Instead, let's just do Jushin getting a win. Against heel, male, Steve Armstrong. I thought we might have done that match when he was a Arachnaman. Is it Steve or is it Brad? I can't remember which one was a Arachnaman. Perfect. That... I feel like that should have been here, but I don't know. I also need to add the P for Pillman. P for Pillman. Cactus Jack gets a win. Stick that over face, male. The Italian Stallion. Quick and easy Cactus victory. There's a double angle there, which I'm happy with. Terry Taylor and Greg Valentine get squashed, but instead I would like to do... Let's do Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor against the Great Muta and Ron Simmons. I guess they just win this. I don't know why they don't hold it for very long. Do we need a storytelling? I don't know. Do we need a storytelling match? We do. I guess make this one it. WCW United States Tag Team. Greg Valentine. We can even make it a tainted win. Perfect. We can put that here. Are they set as a team? No. So Greg and Terry Taylor. Individuals. Nope. It's not what I wanted to do. Just Valentine and Taylor. Save team. Let's also add new team of Ivan and Marcus. Yeah, that team. Perfect. We have Zabisco, Arn and Eaton against Pillman, Zeng and Bagwell. Which I think we can do. So Larry... and Bobby against Brian, Marcus, and we'll also do Ivan. We can make this the main event. I believe Anderson wins, or at least that team wins. We also have Rude getting a squash and Austin retaining his title. So Rick Rude can beat face, male, Tim Bossman, who's already wrestling, Scott Armstrong. Singular minute will do me. Yep. How long do we have? Too long? Ah, we can cut some minutes. Not all matches need to be very long. What is this? I thought I had a storytelling match. I thought I said this one as it. Storytelling. Perfect. Just stir this chili again. Well, how did it taste? In my opinion, no, yeah, it does actually taste class, to be fair. Alright, we need a Steve Austin victory, retaining his title. He can beat face male. PN News is fine with me. Johnny Saint. He's always around to be a face if we need him. 3 minutes. In fact, yeah, Johnny Saint. In fact, Lionheart. He's picked up some wins. WCW World Television, is it? Yeah. Austin. Put that here. And then what are the other angles that we can adjust all the time? Bagwell comes out for a 6-man tag with a towel around his neck. Bagwell has dropped throat first off the cross the top. Gets the win. Eric Bischoff talks with Paulie Dangerously, Austin and Rick Rude. They hype up the match at the Omni against Sting and Steamboat. Dangerously says that Sting wants revenge for the beating he suffered. They will finish off Sting and Steamboat at the Omni. Austin says to not expect a wrestling match but rather a war. Rude says they don't need an invitation and that Sting's face makeup covers the truth. Rude believes the reality is that the Dangerous Alliance can't be stopped. I get better at reading aloud. To not expect a wrestling match. Eric doing an interview with Paulie Dangerously, Steve Austin, and Rick Rude on Sting and Ricky Steamboat. To be honest, after this we could probably just release Lex. He doesn't debut in the WWF, sorry, until I think the Royal Rumble. But could just be worth having him about. After the we can change that. After the Steve Austin match, Rick Rude attacks what was Van Hammer for punching dangerously. Sting and Steamboat slide in the ring to save him. After the match, Rick Rude attacks Lionheart for punching dangerously, which I guess he does during it. Sting and Steamboat slide into the ring. So that does end it, but I didn't really care for that match to be the main event. Steve Austin, Paul E. Then we need Sting and Ricky Steamboat. 3 minutes is fine with me. Happy with all that being the main event. I'm going to stick that here. We need to cut 11 minutes. Go down to 4. That can go down to 2. Practice against Stallion. That can be 1. Can be 2. That can still be 3. That is 1. Armstrong against Liger. That can be 1. That match can be 15. That's the storytelling one. That still needs to be 2. Let's take 2 minutes off this. That's enough. Nice. What is the booking analysis saying? Pillman's been overused. I don't think that's the truth. We have no creative ideas. What are the promises? Arn has offered to put over Steve. Doesn't need to. Ricky Steamboat's offered to put over Dustin. Again, heel, heel, face, face. How do you do that? But this looks good to me. I think it kind of got a bit screwy putting matches and like angles in an odd order, but it should still read fine looking at it. So we got the World Championship Wrestling opening. The Freebirds defeated Bossman and Trout when Hayes pinned Bossman with a bulldog. Pillman is on commentary for the Robinson Bad contest. An extremely short match, Johnny B. Bad defeated Billy Robinson by pinfall with a Wild Thing. After the match, Bad attacked Pillman, who'd entered the ring, and Robinson is knocked to the floor as well. Cactus defeated Stallion in 129. Eric Bischoff talks about the Super Brawl 2 party, we see a video of the Sting press conference. Sting talks about how he and Lex knew it was a big moment between them. The Dangerous Alliance broke up the party. We'll see that later. Wyndham and Rhodes defeated Rose and Rogers when Wyndham pinned Rose with a superplex. Dustin and Barry are interviewed. Eric hypes up their match at the Omni tomorrow night. Wyndham says that the Bull Rope Bell is destined for Zbyszko, and Rhodes will be wrestling against Cactus Jack. Dustin says he can get crazy too, and hopes that Jack straps his boots on real tight. An extremely short match, Steve Austin defeated Lionheart in 320 with a stun gun to make defense number 11 of his World Television title. After the match, Rude attacks Lionheart for punching dangerously, and Sting and Steamboat slide into the ring. Sting asks some questions, saying that he would like to defend the championship against a lot of people, and all over the world. Sting puts over Luger as being the strongest one he has ever competed against. The Dangerous Alliance enter the scene to cut the interview off, with Rude leading the charge. Rude tells Sting that he is the #1 contender for the world title. Sting refuses to drink with Rude, so Rude tosses the drink in Sting's face. Sting and Rude begin to brawl, with Rude really getting the better of the champion, until the Alliance enter the scene and attack. Finally, we get some officials in to break up the brawl. In an extremely short match, Rude defeated Armstrong in 112 with a Rude Awakening. And Eric Bischoff introduces the new world champion Sting. Sting says they're going to have a party at the Omni for Rude and Austin when he teams with Steamboat. Liger defeats Armstrong in 52 seconds with a shooting star press. Bad gets Bryan at the Omni tomorrow night. Brian Pillman comes out and says it is some unfinished business with Billy Robinson. Pillman wants Robinson right now. Pillman shoves Bad out of the way to attack Robinson. Bad knocks Pillman out with a left hook, and Jushin Liger runs in for the save. In a decent match, Valentine and Taylor defeated Simmons and Muta when Greg submitted Muta with a figure 4 leg lock after blatantly cheating. Valentine and Taylor win the United States Tag Team titles. They got on the mic and say they have an open contract and will wrestle anyone at any time in WCW. Hammer thinks they will be World Tag Team Champions soon enough. Taylor says that every team is afraid of them. Bagwell and Ivan run out and attack the champs and they brawl in the ring. Taylor sends Volkov into the ring post and Bagwell hits a super... it's really struggling with the reading today. Bagwell hits a fisherman's suplex on Valentine and holds it. Taylor hits a forearm shot off the top rope across Bagwell's neck before leaving. And that leads us into the main event when the Dangerous Alliance defeat Pillman, Ivan and Bagwell, all of which have been attacked throughout the show, when Arn pinned Ivan with the DDT. Dangerously says that Sting wants revenge for the beating he suffered. They will finish off Sting and Steamboat at the Omni. Austin says not to expect a wrestling match but rather a war. Rude says they don't need an invitation and that Sting's face makeup covers the truth. Rude believes the reality is Dangerous Alliance can't be stopped. Now, I actually thought that was a good show. Maybe not matches wise. I understand if the response was like not enough storylines advanced. But overall as a show, I don't think that's bad. So I'm just looking at the 1992 general results. We are at March, that's February. February still. March 4th, what are we on? A little later. So we have Power Hour. At the Omni, March 8th. Bagwell fought Mike Graham to a time limit draw. Van Hammer pinned DDP. Greg and Taylor beat Chip and Bossman. Pillman defeated Bad. Hello, Geronillet. I hope you're doing well. It's lovely to see you here. I think the sequence of the angles and matches can go weird. Yeah, I absolutely get that. Like sometimes, because obviously I'm booking straight off reviews of the shows, or people that have like watched it and wrote it down. Sometimes they put in like there'll be a match, and then, or a better example, I guess, there's an angle where say Sting cuts a promo, and then after commercial, Sting's now talking to Eric Bischoff, and it's like. It's a struggle for me to put that as two angles because it comes across weird, I guess. Not that it's the end of the world, but it's like angle after angle, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll deliberately squeeze a match between them, but I see what you mean without filling in commercial time, which I guess could be a cool thing that could be added, where like obviously in real life, say, you know when WWE runs over like the shows or the pay-per-views too long or the TV show, and they are charged like 1,000 per minute, or it's genuinely something wild if that kind of happened, or that one needs. In my head, this is something that can just be turned off in the preferences, but one needs to slot in time for commercials. I don't know. I actually want to add in. I want to book this Omni show, is what I'm saying, not a TV show. Add a new event. So it's March the 8th tonight. WCW at the Omni. So it's a lesser show. Yeah. Well, like one doesn't have to do it. No, not Memorial. Is the Omni going to be here, or am I just going to kind of be like... Oh, there you go, Omni Coliseum. Yeah, it would be cool if it's just like another button to an angle, add commercial, boom. It's 5 minutes. It doesn't even affect the timing of your show, it's just where you want to place them. But I assume people probably wouldn't care about that. 2-hour show? Yeah, that should be fine. Just a special. I probably won't do these all the time. Ticket pricing. Let's do them cheap. It's just a little kind of house show type thing. So WCW main event is also next. So I need to find that full thing. I was less prepared for this because obviously we started mid-show. One 5, 2 9, 3 22. Nope, better than that. 3:15. Would that be the next one? Nope. No, so they only have 3. So we can just kind of auto book the main event. I don't mind that. What's going on here? PN News. Yeah, we can keep you around. Jimmy Garvin, Jake Roberts. I believe you come in as a heel. It's nice. Got Dr. Death. There was something else I wanted to do. I wanted to let go of Lex. So it should run out the first. If I release you, that Sting's not going to be happy and we'll have to pay. I'm fine just letting your contract run out. So WWF, can we now put in an offer for Lex? Have we? No. So Lex Luger. Nice. Exclusive written. How long is he with WWF? Lex Luger. Till 95, I think. So we could probably just do 2 years. So WWF from 93 to 95. And then he's with WCW from 95 to 2001. Luger stayed with the team until WWF purchased WCW in March 2001. After WCW closed down, Bagwell went to the WWF, although the company was not interested in Luger. He took a hiatus from wrestling. Returned in for World Wrestling All-Stars. And then did some stuff in TNA. Oh, Lex inducted Sting into the TNA Hall of Fame. I didn't know that. 2011, Lex began working with WWE on their wellness policy. In 2024, he was in attendance for Sting's retirement match at AEW. And then Cody, in March 25, Cody Rhodes and DDP surprised Luger during a workout in Paige's home with the news that Luger will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Nice. So I guess we're in 2 years, and then we can kind of do a rolling contract from there. Rolling contract. Who do I think I am? Haku's contract is ending. Does Haku go anywhere? So shortly after competing in the Royal Rumble in '92, Haku left to compete exclusively in SWS. He was King Haku over there, and then eventually he joined WCW in '94 under the new name Meng. I'm just once again happy to have you on a handshake. You're there till you debut in what? '94 in May? 2 years, and then we'll just let you go from there. It's good with me. Jake Roberts has been hired by the WCW. Don't know why I bother speaking sometimes. Billy Graham, yes, I'd like to bring you in. Hawk's been identified as a steroid user. I'll give you a stern warning. If honestly, with the... I thought I saw Larry... Oh, I did. With the steroid stuff at this point, I kinda don't care. Wrestling Challenge. That's our auto-booked show. Is it? It is, right. Wrestling Challenge is our auto-booked show. It's fine, that's on Sunday. On Monday, we have Primetime Wrestling. So WF Primetime Wrestling. That'll be the 9th of March, 2019. Perfect, just so I already have that up and ready. Boom. Yep, Superstar Billy Graham as a manager. Ooh, Jamie West. That's a great whole look. No one gets the night off. We are in Sunday, so we are back in Mid-South. Locker room instance, what's the crack? Here's some heat between Sean and Owen. Bruce got into an argument with Owen. Earthquake tried to brighten everyone up. Bulldog created a fun karaoke, relaxed atmosphere, based on some power ballads. Vince has been passing on tips to his son Shane. Lawler has been passing on tips to Louis Spicoli. We don't have to address the locker room. So let's just auto book the whole show. That looks fine to me. So change this to WWF Wrestling Challenge opening. Just hype, pre-taped, video, 4 minutes. It looks like there's more people up here. Oh, has Jake just made his way to Major Star and then he's leaving for the WCW, sorry. It's nice to see more people up here though. Right, Gene. This is looking a little better though. With our stars are getting more important, but the lower wrestlers not so much. That's fine. So Virgil against the Berserker. Happy to just stick Berserker over. Interview with Animal on Money Inc. So Ted off screen. IRS off screen. We're going to have Snooker against Repo Man. Instead, let's have Snooker losing to the Dynamite Kid. Interview with Harlock, once again on Money Inc. So Ted off screen, IRS off screen. Let's do heel male. Let's take Shawn Michaels against Crush. Shawn Michaels, I forgot, was injured. Instead, let's stick IRS against Crush. IRS, what has your matches generally looked like? To be fair to you, you've done alright. 7 wins, 3 losses. Did a great one during the Royal Rumble. Interview with Freddie Blassie and Sid. No, he's not Psycho Sid, is he? It's Sid Vicious. Cutting a promo on Hulk off screen. New Foundation. Instead, they could beat heel team men. Instead, let's do Donahue and Smedley, the go-to team. I was gonna say this match's deaths happened, and it happened like a month ago. Stick Owen over. Is there a better Owen picture? Owen Hart. There we go. 1992. What's he looking like, that one? Happy with that. Young-faced Owen, little troublemaker. Ooh. Perfect. Video featuring Andre the Giant. That's fine. And then instead, let's have the Genius losing to Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania, as always, is running wild. Oop. That looks fine. So, Wrestling Challenge opening. What all looks good. An extremely short match, the Berserker defeated Virgil in 4:36 with a power slam. Animal was interviewed on Money Inc. Dynamite Kid defeated Snooker in 6:46 with a headbutt. Interview with Hawk on Money Inc. In about which had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling. IRS defeated Crush in 9:06 with a stock market crash. I just want to check. 68% so will not be penalised. Perfect. Did not check that earlier. Interview with Blassie and Sid on Hogan. The New Foundation defeated Donahue and Smedley when Owen pinned Donahue with a missile dropkick. 4-minute video on Andre the Giant. In a decent match, Hogan defeated the Genius in 6:16 with a big leg drop. An unnecessarily good match for this. Yeah. Considering the angles that are on. So we have WCW main event. Let me just stir my chili. This is going to be the theme of it. Sure to stir the chili. I do actually need to cut up my mushroom meat in quotations. But I can wait till after the stream. Fine. It might be easier for me just let it cool down and then throw it in. No one gets the night off. We are still in Sunday. Oh, we need to be at the Omni. Where is the Omni? Omni Coliseum? Yeah, select this venue. That's fine with me. We are also, yeah, we also have WCW at the Omni. Locker room incidents, what's the crack? Anderson ran some drills, Tony Schiavone did some fun karaoke bits. Pillman and Rude got an argument. We don't need to address the locker room tonight. So main event, we don't really ever show for it as we normally do. So let's just kind of auto book a whole host of things. Nice. That's all good. Boop, boop. So, with WCW main event opening. 4 minutes. It feels like someone's made. Oh, Jake. I was gonna say it feels like someone new's been added here, but it's Jake. He doesn't debut for a little bit anyway, but we could have Dory Funk taking on Mr. Hughes, actually. Cut a couple of minutes. Funker can go over. Video featuring Scott, Rick, and Scott Steiner. So Rick Steiner, subject to video, along with Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, Michael Hayes, and Jimmy Garvin, since they're all in that little feud. The Young Pistols. Yeah, to be fair. In fact, Tracy Smothers can get a win with his new partner, Ron Garvin. Against faces, tap with Van Hammer and Gigante. Stick Garvin over. Interview with Tully, always does well. Big Josh against the Stud. Stud can go over. 72% and so would not be penalised. Interview with Ivan. Interview with Marcus Bagwell, Ivan, and Nikita Volkov. Ivan cutting a promo at Marcus on Greg off screen and Terry Taylor. Nice. Palua, yeah, you can just straight beat Z-Man. Interview with Barry Windham. Yeah, fine with that. That can be on Larry Zbyszko. And in the main event, let's have Steamboat beat heel Art Bar. Why not? That'd be one of those which is like an unnecessarily good match. Let's even have them steal the show. Perfect. So we got the WCW main event opening. Harley Race has invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost his ability on the mic. That catchphrase is, it's WCW, where the big boys be. Dory Funk defeated Mr. Hughes in 4:57 with a pile driver. Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura work extremely well together. Video focusing on Rick and Scott Steiner. Ron Garvin and Tracy Smothers defeated Hammer and Gigante, and Garvin pinned Gigante with a knockout punch. Tully Blanchard cut his good promo. Diamond Stud defeated Big Josh in 9:22 with a Diamond Death Drop. We got an interview with Marcus, Ivan, and Nikita. Kalua defeated Z-Man in 7:13 with a power slam. He's currently been the most protected man in wrestling. Interview with Barry Windham. Yeah, I knew this would go well. Steamboat defeated Art Bar in 8:58 with a diving crossbody. And now we have WCW at the Omni. Automatic selection. What if I just select all of them? Is that... yeah? Oh, nice. I just can. Booking team meeting. We don't have any. Locker room incidents. Ooh, nothing. Address the locker room. Bit of team bonding. It strengthened the relationship between me and Jesse Ventura. It strengthened the relationship between Paulie, Arn, and Harley. And between me and Harley. Happy with that. So the main... where is the Omni show? Here it is. So this actual show only got 2,100 people paid. So the main event is a 2v2 between Sting and Ricky Steamboat against Rick Rude and Steve Austin. This can be our, like, 21 minutes. Sting going over, make it a storytelling match. We also had Rick and Scott defeat Arn and Bobby in a non-title match. Right, like the Steiner brothers defeated Arn and Bobby. Stick Scott over. He is the main man. A non-title match, sadly. Dustin pinned Cactus Jack. What did we say that match was? Oh, that's going to annoy me now because I can't click on it. Which one is it? This one? Oh, I can't even... Oh, it's all for me. That's fine. We'll just do Dustin against Cactus, in which Dustin wins. We can make this a wild brawl. Barry Windham defeated Zbyszko in a bull rope match after both Austin and Dustin interfered. So if I set to 1v1, is bull rope an option? What's a more common name for it now? Shoot fight, street fight, type A death. Boxing, boiler room. Dog collar? Yeah, maybe dog collar. Barry Windham and Larry Zbyszko. This match ends in a draw, I don't know if that's possible, after both interference on Barry Windham by Steve Austin and interference on Larry by Dustin. So if I add a new match, instead of dog collar, let's call it bull rope, content risk low, attached to each other by a board. That is alright, isn't it? Wrestling bull rope match. Two wrestlers are attached to the opposite end of a bull rope, yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Let me make the contrast meet average. And if I can't do it, I can't do it. There we go. Is that Randy Orton against Dusty Rhodes in a Texas bull rope? That's madness. What else happens at the Omni? Ron Simmons and Big Josh defeated Vinny Vegas and Mr. Hughes. At that time, they were US Tag Team Champs, so I don't know what's going on there. Team... we have Ron Simmons and the Great Muta. Oh, is the Great Muta out? So instead, we have Ron Simmons, we do face, male, exclusively booked. Is Bagwell wrestling? He is. He fights Mike Graham to a tournament draw, that's fine. Why don't I know the name Mike Graham? Let's just do Simmons and thing against heels. Stick them against La Parada del Terra. We can stick Simmons over. So what else? Pillman pinned Johnny B. Bad in a light heavyweight title match. So I have hotkeys set for Streamlabs. So I'm just going to tell you now the hotkeys. Not that makes any difference. One is record. Well, start. Two is to stop. I will occasionally brush the keypad with my thumb when I'm going back to my mic. Let's just do it again. Back to my mouse after typing, and it terrifies me that one time I'm going to do it end the stream and just not realise. So Pillman, let's do steal the show. I might change that Pillman picture if I'm honest. So BP. I search. Probably just search Pillman. Brian Pillman, 1992. Yeah, it's a nice little picture of him. Oop. Perfect. Greg and Terry Taylor get a win over Chip and Todd. 2v2. Valentine and Taylor can beat faces, teams, the WCW Patriots. Just make this a 5-minute. Let's take Taylor over because Lord knows he could do with the momentum. We can even make, yeah, then get a defense. United States Tag Team. Van Hammer beats DDP and Bagwell fought Mike Graham. Instead, if I may, for a title and for a title, I want to have Dory Funk wrestle King Kalua to a 15-minute time limit draw for the NWA World Heavyweight. It's the best I can do. It's, you know what I mean. That's fine. We can make it a 10-minute draw. Let's talk about how Dory Funk couldn't seal the deal in that time. Just to make it a little bit more prestigious, I'll put it here. Not that it really matters. And I would also like to open with... Do I need to change Al? Face. Just change it to a heel. I thought I tried to hire these guys. Almad. Negotiate. Maybe I didn't. We'll find out this show. I'll try and hire them. So 2v2. Let's have... I forgot that the Chaos Connection. They can beat the Russians. With De Beers going over just for the NWA World Tag Team. Perfect. Stick that here. Eric Bischoff welcomes every. I know it's Bischoff, by the way, but for some reason in my head I just always say Bischoff. Eric Bischoff welcomes everyone to World Championship Wrestling. The Omni. I would put Coliseum, but I don't know how to spell it if I'm wholly honest with you. Eric Bischoff. In fact, just the usual kind of opening. Perfect. Stick that here. What's this saying? What is that? Just your ratios and matches to angles would result in a penalty. Thank you for telling me. Sting and Steamboat talk about ending the Dangerous Alliance. Learn now to spell it. So Jesse Ventura is the interviewer. Sting and Ricky Steamboat cutting a promo on who they're wrestling. Rude and Steve Austin. Rick Rude, Steve Austin and Paulie. Perfect. Valentine and Taylor, Mock, Ivan and Bagwell for trying to attack them on World Championship Wrestling. Will that fit? Yeah. It's like Greg, cutting a promo and Terry Taylor. You know, Greg and Terry, I think they could do with Teddy Long as their manager. Wait, who do they have? Oh, no one. Is Teddy Long a heel? Yeah, nice. I'm happy to have him as their manager. Cutting a promo on Ivan and Marcus. Pillman and Bad continue brawling after the match. Soon, Robinson gets involved. So, first Liger. I don't know if Liger's here, but we can still keep him there. It's Brian Pillman, Johnny B. Bad, Billy Robinson, and is Jushin here? No, I didn't think he would be. That's fine. We'll pretend he is. We'll have someone else come out in just his costume. And then Liger. Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes talk about the danger of the Bull Road match. So Barry Windham cutting a promo along with Dustin. They can just do this on Steve Austin, Cactus, and who's he wrestling? Zbyszko? Zbyszko. I must cut minutes or Lark's a Lardy. That's fine. Some of these angles can go down to 2 minutes as well. Not everything needs to be 4 and 3 minutes. We should have enough time to fit in enough angles. Austin, Larry, Dustin, and Windham roll to the back before Dustin comes out for the next match. Like chaos going on there. Dustin's going in on the back foot. Dustin, Barry, Larry, Steve. Such like generic first names, isn't it? 2 minutes is fine. All 8 lets everyone know that tonight Ann and Bobby are refusing to put the titles on the line as they have already beaten the Steiners. So, Paulie cutting a promo. Let's have Rick Steiner, character development. Scott on character development. Just sitting with Ann and Bobby. See, I can book my own WCW shows. I know what I'm doing. King. Lua says he has only been given 10 minutes by management, but challenges anyone from the back. Perfect, actually, to beat him in that time. Dory Funk Jr. answers. So King Kalua cutting a promo. Let's also have Dory cutting a promo. This is slowly what I was building up to with this, but it just... How is the storyline doing? Is it just dead? Yeah, it's cold. I understand. Video on the aftermath of Super Brawl too. And honestly, I think we can end on that as the main event. I don't think we need to put an angle at the end of the show. We need to end with the good guys winning. Book. So 85% will not be penalised. What's auto booker saying? Nothing. Not auto booker. Booking analysis. So Eric Bischoff welcomes everyone to World Championship Wrestling at the Omni. In a bout which had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, the Chaos Connection defeated the Russians when De Beers pinned Volkov with a belly to back inverted slam to make defense number 3 at the NWA World Tag Team titles. Nikita carried that match, to be fair. Sting and Steamboat talk about ending the Dangerous Alliance. Oh, Greg Valentine and Teddy Long are an awkward pairing. Valentine and Taylor defeat the WCW Patriots when Terry submitted Chip with a sharpshooter to make their first defense at the United States Tag Team titles. Just quickly take Teddy Long off there. Valentine and Taylor mock Ivan and Bagwell for trying to attack them on World Championship Wrestling. You have to watch the TV show to get that one, which I don't know if it's even aired yet. In a decent match, Pillman defeated Bad in 11:02 with an Air Pillman to make his first defense of the light heavyweight title. Pillman and Bad continue to brawl after the match, and soon Robinson gets involved, and then so does Liger. Or someone that looks like Liger. Simmons and Bagwell defeated La Pareja del Terra in 10:25 when Simmons pinned Eddie with a spinebuster. Barry Windham and Dustin talk about the dangers of a bull rope match. In a good match, Windham drew with Zbyszko in a bull rope when the match descended into chaos after Austin and Dustin became involved. Austin, Larry, Dustin and Windham tried to brawl to the back before Dustin has to come out for his next match, already dishevelled. However, that didn't stop him, as in a wild brawl that had good heat and decent wrestling, Dustin Rhodes defeated Cactus in 10:57 with a running bulldog. Paulie lets everyone know that tonight Arn and Bobby are refusing to put the titles on the line as they are already beaten the Steiners. In a turn of events though, in a good match, the Steiners defeated Arn and Bobby in 12:09 when Scott pinned Eaton with a Steinalizer. King Kalua comes out and says he's only been given 10 minutes. He challenges anyone from the back to beat him in that time for the NWA World Heavyweight title. And former champion Dory Funk Jr. answers. But Dory ended up drawing with King Kalua in 10 minutes when the time limit expired. We got a video of the aftermath of Super Brawl 2 after Sting won the world title. And then in our main event, which did absolute bits, fantastic heat and great wrestling, Sting and Steamboat defeated the Dangerous Alliance when Sting submitted Steve with a Scorpion Deathlock. Jobs are good. 78, 11 pop, look at that, made 344,000, raised pop in America, in Canada, England, a little bit in Europe. Just a smidge in Europe, now it's silly. Solid show, very happy with that. Carry on. We do have, what is it, Primetime Wrestling next? Not sure how many shows we can get in my... Oh, I was going to say. Ooh, new locker room leader. WCW at the Omni was excellent. We struck gold. To be fair, it was up against a wrestling challenge, so... It's probably why they put a Hulk match on. Pay-per-view, warning, your pay-per-view buy rate in at least one region was reduced because WCW has run so many pay-per-view events there in the last month that fans have become jaded. What you mean? Is one of our TV shows on a pay-per-view thing? ITV. So we ran one southeast. Sorry, we ran January. What do you mean? You know about? Not happy with that. WWF made Luger an offer. That's fine. Omni buy rate 0.62. What does that mean? Give me more information. It's annoyed me. We have power hour in 5 digits. What's going on with WWF? When is WrestleMania? 27. Oh, we're definitely not going to do WrestleMania this one. Maybe 2 pay-per-views. But 2 pay-per-views in 1 month doesn't seem like a lot. I know what you're saying, journalist, but like... Surely you've run a show. I thought Hulk Hogan does not like the Dublin Destroyer. With 2 shows. Like, surely that'd be coming up at some point anyway. Ooh, when's Piper off May? Oh, we got another month. Let me stir me chili and pop to the bathroom. I wonder what happens on these breaks of the videos. Like, considering these are an hour and a half, I don't know many people that are like watching the full stream when it's uploaded, but fair play to the people that stick around and be like, oh, he's just popped off, like. It's as much as I enjoy doing this, I don't necessarily want to go back and listen to myself. So if I had to get like go into the editing of this stream, get to the 1 hour 21 minute mark and be like, I'm gonna cut that singular minute where he dipped for a bit and thought about not telling people he was popping for a whiz. Yeah. I guess I always am. I don't think I necessarily fib during these streams. I came back from work, dossed about for about 2 hours before actually doing the stream, because I didn't feel great. I've had a shit day. Didn't feel very well, just... You know when a job can be stressful. So I didn't feel my greatest. And so I was making this chili. And I wasn't really hungry. I barely even wanted to cook it. I wasn't necessarily that into it. Now that I'm smelling it and staring at it, it smells absolutely divine. Not even conflict with co-workers, just task related. So I'm a chef, is what it is. Specifically a brunch chef. And it's been a nice day here. So everyone was coming in being like, poached eggs and avocado on toast, and like, just busy. You know when a job's just busy. And because it's such a physical job, a demanding job. And then I had to stay 2 hours later than when I was meant to finish. And it's just like, I don't enjoy chefing anymore anyway. I'm trying to look into getting out of it. This is very honest between all of us. I hope Whoever gets this far into this stream when they're watching it back on YouTube is really going to learn a little bit about me. Yeah, trying to get out of chefing, but it's hard when it's all I've been doing for the past 5 years. So, any other job I apply to, I try to talk about, ooh, look at all these transferable skills I have from teamwork and working in a kitchen. But no one wants me. People want stuff with experience in what you're applying for. A little of column A, a little of column B. Hello, Timu. How are you? Sorry, we're just chatting about real life. The actual cooking already I don't enjoy. A little bit about me, people that cares. I'm a vegan. And I don't care about cooking meat. Like, it's a job. I don't have to eat it. But after this long, you just started to get a bit jaded cooking eggs all the time for breakfast and bacon and all this stuff, and like, just tired of it. Also, understaffing is a problem. So it's like it's a badly managed cooking brunch job, and I already don't enjoy cooking brunch. Don't necessarily enjoy cooking as a whole. Though I am making a lovely chili as we talk right now. So that's just kind of how it is. That's how life is. So yeah, I can't remember what the point of the story was, but I felt a bit sick coming home. You know, as you do, stressful day, tired. Came here, dossed about, started the stream. The stream already made me feel better. I always like... Sometimes the thought of streaming, I'm like, oh, can I actually be arsed? Because I'm booking, I have to Google the shows. Of course, what's this fictional mod? See, I like getting lost in world building. Well, I like getting lost in universes like Lord of the Rings, but I'm just nowhere near creative enough for something like that. Like, something like booking these shows and putting my own wrestlers in, that's my level of world building, is the furthest I can get. You did say you started doing a 70s mod, but I feel like you're on a lot of places are having like it's hard to find good management in jobs that get it. Sadly, my job is being managed by people that haven't worked in a kitchen, so they kind of think they know. It's like, for the past 2 weekends, we've done record-breaking sales for food. It's class, over the moon. So their response is perfect. We've made more money than we ever have with your cooking. How can we cut hours so everyone makes less money and we make more money? And it's like, the fuck you doing? Like, the business is making more money, so invest a bit more in the business. Like, have people on for more hours, and then we can produce more and stuff can get out a little faster. It's like, but yeah, streaming's made me feel better, and cooking this chili smells divine, so I actually feel better doing that. So I just want to thank you for hanging out. And make me feel better when I feel shit. So we're on Monday, no one gets a night off. We were last in the Midwest, Mid-South, sorry, so Mid-Atlantic. Yes, please, Timu, fill me in on your fictional mod, because I knew you were doing a 70s one, but kind of loosely struggling with it. Owen and Sean. Oh, the Mounties willing to put over Papa Shango, that is actually kind of helpful. Jerry Sags was brought for a wrestler's card. Sid has a creative finish, that is also helpful. Lawler passed on tips to Louis. Porter's been fun to be around. I like Michael Porter. Bulldog pulled a classic rib on Owen. Classic Bulldog. Oh, Timu Geronolite. This is I actually have a genuine question. Specifically, maybe Timu, since you've been doing mod stuff. I have a bunch. So I have been loosely working on a 2008 mod. But the full picture pack I have is all JPEGs, right? I tried to ask this on the Grey Dog forums, but I don't think I explained myself very well. Is there a way, like a Photoshop script or something, where I can mass edit all of my pictures so they are now this size? Like, I don't want to go through and just resize all the images so they now have this border. There is, but they haven't done it right. I just wanted to know... Yeah, they're right. I will look around and see if someone has a better answer. I feel like that was something I needed to explain verbally, but typing it on the Grey Dog forums while people were arguing in the modern day wrestling mod thing, Real World Chronicles, maybe wasn't the best place to do it. Just trying to diffuse a bit of situation. 2 projects, a Real World 60s one, a Real World 90s, now this. So I imagine it is just fun to create. I don't know how much the Cornellverse, is that what it is based on, like, just someone coming up with things. But that stuff seems really fun. I just don't know if I could, like, I don't have the creative drive. I barely have the creative drive to book a wrestling show without following what happens in real life. See, I have done that, Geronolite, a few... Also, I never know if I'm saying your name right, so feel free to ever correct me. I've had so much fun doing that with people. Doing those, like, I love doing a brand split. Saying it perfect. Nice. Back of the net. I understand that, Timu. It's hard to find one that's perfect. See, I had a friend who just didn't necessarily care for modern day stuff, whatever, wrestling's wrestling. Loved the Cornellverse. So, like, I was... whenever he would, like, explain the lore to me, that would just be, like, madness to me. I'd love all, like, the stuff. I think that's very bold and broad to say you don't think modders do a good job a lot of the time. I understand it's just your opinion, and I get what you're saying. I understand. It's hard to find something that's perfect for one person. I just struggle booking something that isn't real world, and I'm not that great at making mods, so that's just me. I'm just like, everyone books differently and stuff like that, and I just find it easier to kind of just copy what happens in real life. Right. So, Vince McMahon hosts another episode of Monsoon, Slick, Heenan and Perfect debate the issues of the day. McMahon is angry at Heenan and Perfect for releasing pictures of Ric Flair with Elizabeth. Heenan laughs about how more photographs are to come. We can just change that to Liz. I am kind of gutted because a new, like, version of this mod has came out, and it seems like it's almost the perfect one. Like, not necessarily the last one, but like a big update that's been building for a while. I watch zero wrestling. I go through phases of watching AEW. Which I enjoy when I watch. I just with work and life, and I guess now doing this, just don't have the time for modern day wrestling. I also see the stuff they're doing with WWE, and while some of it is like madness and great, and it's like the John Cena heel turn is like, I don't want to use this term because I don't know, I've never said it in my life. It's so hype, like it's so cool. But at the same time, I also hate a lot of the stuff they're doing with modern day WWE. I guess one can say the same for AEW. That you can enjoy some of it and hate some of it. I look at WWE now, and I know so few. It's my own fault. I know so few people, and I kind of hate seeing Travis Scott and Speed. I think I Show Speed or whatever it is. I Am Speed, and KSI or Drake. I just like. I understand that I can be. Is this an A show or a B show? Sorry, before I get into it. I understand that can be me being very hypocritical, because I liked Mike Tyson. I enjoyed Fred Durst. I enjoyed Arnold Schwarzenegger. I liked David Arquette. So I think some of it is me just kind of being like, wrestling isn't as cool as when I liked it. Which is like, I liked it 10 to, like, that's an exaggeration. Like, 1992 is 5 years before I was born. And even then, I would have preferred to book, like, an 85 mod. Yeah. So, that's kind of just... The real question is, do you watch any modern day wrestling? That took me on a huge kind of detour. No, I don't watch any modern day wrestling. I tried to watch AEW, but I just can't keep up with wrestling in general. I look at NXT now, and I understand people that were hypocritical, or not hypocritical, that were critical of NXT when it was just indie star. Like, I personally liked 2013-14 NXT. Like, just before Finn Balor got in. I enjoyed it, obviously, with Adam Cole and Finn Balor and Tommy End and all those people. But I liked Corbin and Bull Dempsey and Big Cass and Enzo. I think just as the years went on, it's just been hard for me to stay in wrestling. And all the Tribal Chief stuff is kind of when I phased out of WWE entirely. So a lot of it's really lost on me now. I watched AEW every week until years ago. I basically switched WWE when Sammy joined the Bloodline. That's fair. That's fair. I can understand that. So the first match is Bossman and Virgil defeating the Beverleys by DQ when Genius tried to toss Bossman's nightstick to Bo. I'm just putting Hogan in because I don't necessarily care about Virgil. I think it's a solid enough finish that keeps the Beverleys strong for WrestleMania. Stick that there. Yeah, I like a lot more of AEW wrestlers than I do WWE, which is basically why I watched that. There was no kind of tribalism or like, fuck WWE, I like indie people. Skinner gets a random finish, a random squash, but instead I'll put down Wicked over. Yeah, there was no kind of tribalism. I just preferred the wrestlers, and I still do. I even in AEW, I didn't care for Cody Rhodes. So then when Cody Rhodes went over to WWE, I still didn't care about him. I thought it was kind of cool. Man won the world title. Yeah, finished the story, whatever. That's fine. Just not a wrestler that's for me. I like a lot of the WWE storylines kick to each other and they use history too. Yeah, I get that. It seems like that is something they've gotten a lot better at. Truth be told, and this is like the awful person in me and the absolute curiosity. There's been some stuff said on, I don't know if it's Bruce Pritchard's or Conrad Thompson who said this stuff in podcasts, but Vince McMahon is apparently buying a TV network and is meant to be looking at a roster. I don't know if Vince McMahon's ever going to come back to wrestling. Truth be told, I don't know if he should. Am I horrifically intrigued? Absolutely I am. I am so intrigued at what this man's going to do. But it seems like Triple H is doing bits when it comes to WWE, and I like that for him. I like Triple H. I want him to do well. If anything, I want just wrestling to do well. I think I'm maybe just a bit more jaded because I'm an old fan, and I probably don't like it because I haven't kept up with it. If I kept on watching it, I might be a bit more like, no, it's actually good these days. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, one thing I really don't like about modern WWE is they have no fucking time for Punisher Martinez. What's he called in WWE? Damian Priest. That's his name. Heenan and Perfect laugh at the prospect of Randy Savage and Elizabeth getting divorced over Ric Flair's revelation. Yeah, I just have no time for Damian Priest. How that man has been pushed is absolutely beyond me. I don't know what Triple H or what. I don't know if this was also under Vince McMahon. Seeing him. But it is madness to me. So to see that man push as a contender in anything, I can't take seriously. I understand people might say the same about, I don't know, Orange Cassidy. But yeah, just can't take Punisher Martinez seriously. So the Warlord defeats Chris Walker here after 10 minutes. Apparently Walker showed a lot of potential here and makes one wonder why WWF did not consider slotting him in the new Foundation tag team with Owen after Jim was fired. I might do... we do kind of have the heel team of... Maybe there's someone else we can squeeze into the... Do we have anyone's kind of a face? Jim Powers, but does anyone care about Jim Powers? Mario. Is there anyone? Sorry, I'm now just getting distracted. Borrow. Backgun, Mabel, Salvatore Sincere. No one there that I really want to. Spicoli could be a shout. Since he is now Jerry Lawler's protege. That could be a shout once I do. Like after that WrestleMania match. It's a shame there's not like a... That's a great look. Is he from... Is he like Kodama from Chikara? Does he remember Chikara? Am I just like being completely wrong? I don't know like a good Spicoli picture to use. Because I wouldn't stick like a photo like this with the one heart in the new Foundation, you know what I mean? Maybe just that one from a distance. I feel like I just keep clicking on the same things with different pictures. I'll have a think of Spicoli could be a good show. Anyway, since we have Chris Walker in that heel team with Wolf. But just saw Dale Wolf, the Wolfman. He had an awful run. 1 win and 9 losses. His most recent win was Wolf and Walker. What do you want? Yes. Anyway, the Warlord defeats Chris Walker, but said let's have the Powers of Pain just beat the Bushwhackers, if I'm honest. But I mean, my dislike for modern day wrestling characters, gimmicks, I think to a degree also kind of extends to like here. Because like, I hate Bushwhackers and Jameson. I don't really like the Johnny B. Bad gimmick. I love the Mark Mero gimmick, but don't like Johnny B. Bad. Heenan and Perfect put over The Undertaker is not normal for surviving Jake Roberts' assault on Superstars 2 weeks ago. Let's try cutting a promo and see if that kind of makes a difference. On Jake Roberts off screen. The Undertaker, and I guess Paul Bearer. Spicoli could be a show. El Matador squashes earned. Oakland does a WrestleMania 8 report. You said it does, they would just do Oakland's WrestleMania report. Oakland's? Is it Gene Oakland? I've been calling him Oakland. Gene Oakland? Who knew I've been that wrong this full time? Maybe I am the idiot. I didn't know it was Oakland. Have I been writing it Oakland? I suppose, what are the chances that I've typed it? I also understand people growing up now and being like, I hate the Ultimate Warrior gimmick, but it's still cool to me, damn it. Heenan speculates that Randy... Wait, how does the Ultimate Warrior come back? Jim Hellwig, baby! Dingo Warrior! Mame! So, here we go. Upon receiving the letter, Warrior refused the suspension and left WWF. Warrior formally sent a letter of resignation to the WWF in October 91. The WWF refused to accept the letter since Warrior was under contract till September 92. With Hulk Hogan about to leave the WWF from mid-92 until early 93, McMahon contacted Warrior about returning. He made his comeback at WrestleMania 8 to rescue Hogan from a beatdown at the hands of Sid and Shango. Upon his return, he received a degree of creative control over his bookings. One storyline involved Papa Shango casting a spell over Warrior, causing him to convulse and vomit, though Warrior says he hated the story and had no control over it. I think that could be fun. The Warrior was booked for a WWF Championship match against Savage at SummerSlam. The Warrior won the match by countout, but not the title. Warrior was scheduled to team with Savage to face Flair and Razor at Survivor Series, but weeks before the event, Warrior was released for disputed reasons and replaced with Mr. Perfect. The initial plan for Warrior's 92 return was to eventually give him another run with the world title. WWF writers originally intended the Ultimate Warrior should be one to accept Mr. Perfect's service. Up for offer to either SummerSlam main event competitor, turning heel in the process and winning the title. However, these plans were scrapped due to Warrior's refusal to turn heel, after considering the collapse in merchandise sales that would result. Furthermore, his return coincided with the government's crackdown in steroids. Warrior was a heavy steroid user. However, in Warrior, the Ultimate Legend, McMahon claims it was Warrior experimenting with growth hormone that led to his departure. Warrior was suspended and in return skipped dates as he took offence to McMahon's actions. Warrior left the company on November 21st, 92, with his last match being a victory over Kamala. He went into semi-retirement before returning in 96. This show is hosted by Heenan and Perfect. In fact, it's hosted by Vince McMahon, Gorilla Monsoon, Slick, Heenan and Perfect. But a lot of it's mostly Heenan and Perfect being troublemakers. As you can see, literally by Heenan and Perfect, being troublemakers, as you can expect. Heenan speculates that Randy Savage is going to be put in a straitjacket soon because he's going to be driven mad by Flair's photographs. Sorry, when does Warrior... Oh, Warrior comes back at WrestleMania. That's fine. I look forward to that. As awful as Warrior is, he was always a childhood favourite. So, Bobby Heenan. I guess we can add all the people. Mr. Perfect, Gorilla, Reverend Slick, and Mr. McMahon. I was under Vince. Yeah. On Ric Flair. They're really putting over this angle on this show. It's a B show as well, so I don't know why I'm putting so much effort in. Miss Elizabeth and Randy Savage. 3 minutes. We have the Mountie and the Nasty Boys defeating Piper and the Bushwhackers, where Nobbs pins Luke after the Mountie uses the shock stick on him. After the bell, Piper uses the belt on his kilt to whip the heels and make them flee. I think it's a rap song. That was funny. No, it wasn't. Heels, so we have the Mountie. Who's he with? The Nasties. That's fine. We can do with the Nasties getting a win. Especially since they'll be losing to the Von Erichs at WrestleMania. So the Mountie, they can go against, I guess, Roddy Piper and Face Team. The new foundation. How's Owen's pop been? Because I feel like really pushing him. He's only gone up from 40 to 42. Come on, man. 40 to 42, 12 wins, 2 losses. When you can consider that one loss was in a 4-way, and the other loss was also in a 3-way. Maybe it's because it's all on B shows. Not Ross. Roddy. Is Roddy not contracted to wrestle B shows? That's fine, we can do Brett. It's kind of the same gimmick. So the Mountie can go over Jim Neidhart, since he's leaving anyway. Make it a tainted win. Tainted win, there we go. It's fine. I imagine this is the main event of the show, but we need a bit more. After the bite, Roddy runs into the ring, and Piper uses the belt on his kilt to whip the heels and make them flee. It's fine. So Roddy, Brett, Owen, Jim. And then we have the Mountie, and who's he with? Oh yeah, the Nasties. Brian Nobbs. Jerry says, hate the Nasties so much. I don't even know what they're like as people, I just don't like them. Ooh, Bret Hart gets a squash match. Piper does an insert promo about how he does not take dives and is too legit to quit. This is not the first time Piper's said this, so I don't know if this is a catchphrase he's trying to get over. That's fine. Brett and Owen get singles win. Owens gets a singles win over Hercules, which is an odd match. I don't think I've ever seen Owen Hart and Hercules wrestle. Instead of Brett, suppose we can have this. Let's have British Bulldog get a win over heel Haku's fine with me. I actually don't really, as much as I like Meng stroke Haku, I just have no plans for him as a wrestler. We can stick that heel here because we have bear angles. So a replay of Ric Flair's revelation of the photographs with Elizabeth is shown. Afterwards, Flair asks Heenan when Elizabeth had a relationship with Flair, and all Heenan knows that it was before Randy Savage. McMahon is aghast that Heenan would say that Flair is a better lover than Savage. See, parts of this storyline I like, but other parts I'm just kind of like, Get my chili in the stir. Not sure how much. Kind of time in life, but I don't know if there's other things I want to do in my evening. Though, to be fair, what else would I do in my evening if not this? Home Alone tonight. We can have heel. And instead of Owen's match, let's have a 2v2 since I think Owen's already wrestling. We can have. I wouldn't mind Wolf and Walker getting a win. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but stick them against, I don't know. Virgil and Jim Powers. 4 minutes. Chris Walker. I know he isn't great and ends up being released, but I just always like the look of Chris Walker. He reminds me of if we were earlier, I would have liked to push, what's his name? Tom McGee. A new Papa Shango vignette airs, showing him lighting candles and talking about different types of pain that are slowly growing everywhere. Let's just have Papa Shango putting a promo on the Ultimate Warrior. Hulk Hogan? Since that is kind of... Let's add the Ultimate Warrior in a major way, and Hulk supporting, and also Sid is supporting. Different types of pain. The Ultimate Warrior can be off screen. Hogan we can also put in a promo just because I kind of want this to do well. Is that bad of me? Maybe. Also sticks to Angle here. National Disaster Squad airs. Once again, Mick Man chastises Heenan and Perfect. And then Repo Man defeats Jim Brunzell. That's the end of the show. The ending was abrupt and it seems like the two of them were not on the same page. Say that about most of these primetime wrestling. It's how the Von Erichs beat Heel, Male, Repo Man and Skinner. Skinner and Tanaka. That's fine. 4 minutes. Stick carryover. Where's there another match angle? Here. 2 angles at the end. So I think we can kind of just have... Let's have heels, Flair, Sid, and Roberts. Why not? Against faces. We can do some recognisable boys. Duggan, Volkov and Snooker. And at stick, Sid over. Flair's always going to be big, Jake's always going to be big. Sid could kind of do with the win. So the fans are expecting a show of 65% matches. I'm currently on 70, so that's fine. Yeah, run it. Hopefully everything... Oh no, quickly. Primetime wrestling opening. That looks good. This needs to go here. And this can go here. And that can kind of end it fine. This is a B show, isn't it? Yeah. So much effort for a B show. In a decent match, Bossman and Hogan defeated the Beverleys when Bo was disqualified while fighting Bossman. McMahon is angry at Heenan and Perfect for releasing pictures of WWF champion Rick and Liz. Heenan laughs about how many more photos are to come. Dynamite Kid defeated Crush in 256 by pinfall with a diving headbutt. Gene Okerlund's update segment recaps the Undertaker-Jake Roberts feud. The Powers of Pain defeated the Bushwhackers when the Barbarian pinned Butch with a kick of fear. Heenan and Perfect laugh at the prospect of Savage and Liz getting divorced over Ric Flair's revelations. The Bulldog defeated Haku in 346 with a running power slam. Yeah, I agree. The Hogan Bossman feud was so good. But it's a shame it was kind of battened down by the unbeatable Hoganness. Bulldog defeated Haku in 346. Heenan and Perfect put over how the Undertaker is not normal for surviving Jake Roberts' assault on Superstars 2 weeks ago. Like, I feel like when you see like Ric Flair as champion or Randy Savage as champion, it's like they can be beaten. But then you see Hogan, it's like, oh, he's going to win again. He's going to win again. He's going to win again. So yeah, that got to be the problem with Hogan. I do like IWGP Hogan though. That one never fails to amuse me. In an abysmal match, Wolf and Walker defeated Virgil and Jim Powers when Chris Walker pinned Virgil with a top rope crossbody. Oakland's WrestleMania 8 report. The Von Erichs defeated Tanaka and Skinner when Kerry pinned submitted Skinner with the Iron Claw. A new Papa Shango vignette shows him lighting candles and talking about different types of pain that are slowly growing everywhere. In a decent match, the Mountie and the Nasty Boys defeated the Hart Foundation when the Mountie submitted Jim with a Quebec crab after interference from Jimmy Hart. After the bell, Roddy runs in and Piper uses the belt on his kilt to whip the heels and make them flee. Then our main event, Flair, Jake and Sid defeated Duggan, Volkov and Snooker when Sid pinned Volkov with a chokeslam. Heyman speculates that Savage is going to be put in a straitjacket soon because he's going to be driven mad by Flair's photographs. 69, solid. Yeah, loss of 3 grand, that makes sense. That was a whole lot more effort to put into a B show than was at all necessary. But it was nice though. It was a fun beat. We filled stuff forward. Let's carry on. Primetime Wrestling, solid. Oh, the Pirates ends, not the Pirates. Willie Williamson, Phil LaFon. Thank you. For a B show, it was a very well put together show. Randy Anderson's contract is ending. We could honestly have you till the end of time. 10 years. Yeah. You'll be with us that long. So, can I... Am I here? No. If I just search... Al Madro. Just a written for the next year. And Colonel De Beers. Just written for the next year. That's fine. Chris Duffy, oh, that's why Chris Duffy rings a bell. Chris Markov, that's like the Russian gimmick. I'm instantly intrigued by this man, Chris Dahlman. Chris Dahlman. What we get? God, it looks like a beast. Dutch retired judoka, sambo fighter and wrestler. Known for his career in rings. He currently teaches at the Pancreation Gym and leads the Rings Holland promotion. Notable students: Bas Rutten, Alexander Overstein, Willie Peters. Did I just see Willie Peters? Yeah. I thought about doing a rings save at one point. But I just feel like it would be too much to try and put together. Like even that, look at that as a gimmick. What? Who are we? Who am I? What's going on? Why does Grizzly Smith already have morale issues? Right, that's fair. I actually understand that. Yeah. Where's Rings? View promotion. Where's the stable? Georgia, Holland, Russia. Oh, Volcan. Where's just look at all these people. Is there any way I can look at just roster? Oh, roster, probably the roster button, roster. Wait, is Vic... Love that. Is Victor not in rings? What was I looking at? UWF? Yeah. I love that. Handshake, per show. 6 months. Let's see if we do anything with you. Do you happen to have a tag team partner at all? I'm gonna be on skills, attributes. I can never find this. Personal details, there we go. Yep, you are with Salman Hashimikov? Salman Hashimikov? Of course you are. Handshake, per show, 9 pounds. 6 months, let's see if we do anything with you. Maybe we mill. Oh, doesn't Salvatore... Was he... Who was he formerly in the WWF? Salvatore Bellomo. He wrestled in the WWF and ECW as Salvatore Bellomo. Until... I thought he appeared in 87. Just a jobber. And then he wrestled in ECW quite early on. Bellomo sent several of his students to audition for Belgium's Got Talent. That's fun, yeah. Right, so I never... Oh, instant with Sid Vicious. Someone who abuses painkillers can fine him. Alright. Tanaka, hard drug user. So he's not under a written... Fine him, I guess. Drug test fees. Yeah. We're eventually going to be caught out because of all these drugs. I'm saying it now. Super Medico. That chili be simmering well. Happy with that. Right, let's carry on. What are we looking at? Brad Armstrong has a new catchphrase. Oh, if when it comes to Dr. Death, yeah, it's fine. So it looks like All Japan aren't necessarily doing anything to try and fight for him back. Maybe they'll just take the title off him. But I know it means nothing, but I don't really want him to leave All Japan while being Triple Crown. Just give it to... I don't know. I was going to say Ted DiBiase. He was the first person I can think of. Give it to Terry Gordy. I'm sure he's still there. Like, I only signed him on a written deal. I didn't do anything exclusive. My cat's been oddly absent for this full stream. I know where she is. She's just on the bed. But if she's sleeping now, she won't sleep tonight. Alright, what's going on? Yeah. There's a... Who calls them out? It's DDP that calls them out, so maybe... So he's just straight leaving. Nick Patrick's contract's ending. Again, Nick Patrick. Willing to just sign you on for 9 years will do. You on 15,000? I'm also willing to do that. King Kalua signed a one-night deal with New Japan. Get in. Go on, King Kalua. Chris Dolman's gained power. I knew I was good to trust in you. House show was held in Quebec. Yep. Salmon's in. They could be heels. Though, do we have too many heel teams now? Who's like an old school WWF shoot wrestler? Who did Bruno Sammartino wrestle? Because Bruno, to me, says better wrestler than most. I just see Brutus Beef, Paul Orndorff, I guess he's with WWF. Stan Stasiak could be a fun one. Larry King live. I guess Stan Stasiak isn't in. I just thought, like, what is Bruno doing, by the way? Why is he unwilling? He just doesn't want to work for me. That's fine. Dominic DeNucci could be a bit much. You know what, DeNucci? Why not? 1 year, be whatever's needed. Major TV show's fine. Let's put you and these guys as faces. Where is Salmon? Just as a straight shoot wrestler. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Instead of that, what is Victor's gimmick? Legit athlete, that's fine. Salmon. Legit athlete. I'll do legitimate. Swagger? No. Legitimate? Yes. Just click there, I guess. Legitimate athlete. Let's set them as a team. That's good. Not just individuals. Are they also named as Team USSR? They don't need to be Team USSR. Look at those boys. Hell yeah. Dominic DeNucci, eat your heart out. Yeah, Haku, you can stay with us for another 2 years. All Japan has made Luger a rival bid. It's not been seriously considered, that's fair. Mike McGurk. Do you do anything? So I'm wondering. I have no real recollection of you after this. McGurk left WWF in '94. Rumoured to be because she refused advances by Vince. Apparently McGurk later denied this rumour, stating that she left because of the increase in steroid abuse. Oh, she was once married to Brian Blair of the Killer Bees. She then married Doug Summers, that was a divorce. She had a relationship with Ted DiBiase. We just don't seem to use you. I'm sorry, Miss McGurk. I guess we have... That's the problem with having, I guess, ring announcers. Randy Anderson, complete. So it's WWF trying to get legs. That's for you. View rival offers. Is being seriously considered? Is not being seriously. That's fine. All Japan has made Ricky Steamboat. I don't think they will they? For some reason it just seems to go away when they do that. Is King Kalua back from New Japan? I want to see what match he has. Mike Atkins. WCW's finest. While not ring announcing or commentating, McGurk's job was producing promos backstage. She explained in an interview that Vince McMahon would not let employees just sit around backstage. He would always find something for them to do while being paid. Her parent was Leroy McGurk, an amateur and professional wrestler and wrestling promoter. As one of the longest surviving members of the NWA, He was affiliated from 49 to 82, where he was a one-time NWA World Junior Champion. He's in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. Leroy McGurk, who's known as Leroy and Mike McGurk. That's interesting, I've never heard of him. Things you learn. Oh, is that Yokozuna? Yeah? Yeah? It's cool, he's in All Japan. I'll allow it. Doesn't Yoko come in soon? Locker room tension. What else is going on? House show's been held, that's fine. Carry on to the WWF. House show's been held. I doubt Lex is really going to sign with All Japan over us. We have WCW Power Hour. We are now in New England, new territory. Locker room incidents, what's the crack? Some heat between Thomas Rich and Tony Schiavone. Dick Murdoch got in an argument with Schiavone. Ron Garvin got in a backstage clash. Arn Anderson ran some pre-show drills for 6 students. Liger did some spot-on impression of colleagues. Gordon Soley belted out some power ballads. Lex and Gene got in an argument. Not Gene, anyone but Gene. Bob Cook was found guilty of not paying for his tab. Nice, we don't have to address the locker room, this is just an auto-booked little show. Not a booker, no titles. Just book the whole kit and caboodle. Oop, all is good. Stick that one in. Perfect, and let's get rid of these two. So, oop, not that much. WCW Power opening. Perfect, perfect. 3 minutes, hype, pre-taped video. All that's good with me. Ooh, Jesse's made his way to Major Star. So's Paulie. And Dustin. Nothing. No one's really made their way into stars. Terry Taylor against Scott Armstrong. We can just stick Taylor over. This RuneScape thing, this is actually going to come to an end. Do you think Maple Story music will copyright strike me? We can find out. How is the audio levels for this? Trying if I quickly check. They look fine. They look like fine audio levels. Yeah, Terry Taylor can go over. I'm constantly worried that stuff might be a little loud. Interview with Bagwell, Ivan, and Nikita Volkov. So Nikita cutting a promo, we can do Ivan cutting a promo, and Marcus Bagwell. On who are they feuding with? Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor. Coincidentally. 3 minutes. How much do we need to cut all together? Oh, no more. Richard Morton against Z-Man. When does... If I search Ricky Morton... When does he stop this, like, useless heel shtick? Let's see, let's see. They disbanded in 1992. Morton was used as a heel jobber, where he teams with DDP. Made his last WCW TV appearance against Barry Windham in July. Morton and Gibson returned in January 93, feuding with the Heavenly Bodies. I reckon I could just turn Richard Morton face. So, Richard Morton, let's turn face. What is Robert Gibson? Old school face. That's a happy, like, gimmick. So Richard Martin. Rename gimmick. Prepare gimmick change. Swagger? Yeah. Put that here. I don't know. The York Foundation has disbanded. He just is still kind of Richard Martin. In fact, there might even be a stable. No, they're not even a stable anymore at this point. So at this point, I don't see a reason not to make him a face and just have him as part of the, what they're called, Rock and Roll Express? Is York's Loretta? Sorry, I did just get distracted. York. Alexandra York, yes. Terry Runnels. That's who it is. Manages Thomas Rich and is managed by Mr. Hughes. She's around, but she hasn't really been used for anything. Let's see. Terry Runnels. She's basically gone from WCW at this point. She doesn't debut again until 96 with Goldust. So she's kind of just gone from wrestling at this point. I might stick her with someone. So instead, let's do search. I don't know. 2v2. We can add the Rock and Roll Express as a team. Yeah, Rock and Roll Express. Add team. Let's stick them against heels. The Young Pistols. And hopefully this match will just turn Richard Martin. Who, if anything, we can just rename to Ricky Martin. I must have just skipped over him. Ricky Martin. And then just 92? Yeah. Is it just kind of like a nicer picture? Yeah, I'm actually happy with that one. Finally have Rock and Roll Express back together. Video featuring Rick and Scott Steiner. So, Rick Steiner, subject to video. We can also do like they're in a feud with Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin. La Pera del Terra against Dory Funk and Bill Casimir. I kind of like this as a team, if I'm completely honest. They're a bit of an odd couple. But instead, I would like to stick them against Pat Rose and Buddy Lee Parker. And let's stick Casimir over. I like Bill Casimir. Interview with Ron Simmons. Happy with that. Ron Simmons cutting a promo on Steve Austin. And I guess Rick Rude. El Gigante against the Diamond Stud. Let's stick the Stud over. Interview with Barry Windham. Again, happy with that. He can cut that on Larry Zbyszko. And finally, in the main event, let's have... I'm always happy to do a 3v3. Let's have... Oh, Lex Luke is pretty much gone now. So we can have Sting with Face I started a fun Freebirds vs Steiner feud on my save. Freebirds went looking for the Steiners in Michigan, and next to the Steiners we got a Buzz. That's fair. I like that gimmick. I like when people go to a part of town to look for them. Let's have Sting, Pillman, and Bagwell, I guess, against heels. Hughes. Who's Ron Garvin been teaming with recently? Kahlua? No. We're doing a team. Who's been? It's gonna annoy me now. Just save Ron Garvin. Match history. Tracy Smothers. That's who he's teaming with. Is Tracy Smothers already wrestling? Yes, doing Pistols. Instead, let's do heel, male. Thomas Rich and Steve Armstrong? Yeah, I like that gimmick. It's very like territory. So this all looks good, 69%, so it would not be penalised. Let's run the show. So we got the WCW Power Hour opening. Terry Taylor defeated Scott Armstrong in 356 with a flying forearm smash. Got an interview with Bagwell, Ivan, and Nikita Koloff. The Rock and Roll Express. That's I would forget his last turn. Defeated Steve Armstrong and Thomas Rich, and Martin pinned Steve Armstrong with a double drop kick. Let's change the gimmick. From a turn, yes. So there is a rating as poor. All right. I guess the turn didn't go down well either. Video featuring Rick and Scott Steiner. Terry Funk and Kazmaier defeated Parker and Rose when Bill pinned Parker. Interview with Ron. The Stud defeated Gigante in 605 by pinfall. We got an interview with Wyndham. In a decent match, Pillman, Sting and Bagwell defeated Garvin, Hughes and Smothers when Bagwell pinned Ron Garvin. And then we have World Championship Wrestling. The WCW Worldwide. Big win for the Diamond Stud. I'm just trying to like get him over enough so that when he goes to the WWF is Val Venus. Like he goes to. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours. It's a long time for me. So when he goes to the WWF as Razor Ramon, he's kind of slightly further up there. WCW Worldwide, 14th of March 92. Please let me know we have a show for this. We don't. We just have a Saturday night recap. Well, it's WCW Worldwide it changes to. We just have Saturday night. WCW Worldwide. It ran from October 75 to March 2001. Who knows why we just suddenly don't have shows? Oh well. We can carry on. We'll just book Saturday night instead. Could just change this to Saturday night. Alright. Whoa. WCW World Championship Wrestling TV show. So the World Championship Wrestling TV show ran from 85 to 89, so that's not right. No, I'm never going to figure out. We'll just book Saturday night. I might just regularly change this to Saturday night. Locker room incidents, nothing has happened. We don't have to do anything, to be honest. This is our A show. If we just run through the matches. Justin Rhodes and Barry Windham defeated Cactus Jack and DDP. God, didn't mean to set that up. Which is an odd match to start the show with, but fair enough. So, Dustin and Barry Windham against Cactus and DDP. Dustin and Windham win. Rhodes collides head with Jack, but Windham gets the hot tag, so does Page. Windham cleans house with strikes on both opponents and then hits the lariat and pins Page. Barry Windham, with the loser being DDP. A good way to start the show, to be fair. Larry Zbyszko gets a squash over Joey Maggs. Where is he? There he is. Is Arn Anderson, like, we check personal details. Here's the protege of Arn Anderson. Odd. Maybe I should consider pushing him, but I just don't have a place for Joey Maggs. Zbyszko. What else do we have? Greg Valentine defeated Bagwell. Bagwell knocks Taylor off the apron and Zenk hits him with a few right hands. Taylor trips Bagwell and Valentine delivers a simple elbow for the win. Greg Valentine against Marcus Bagwell. 8 minutes should do. Greg win. Let's do an outside interference finish from Terry Taylor. And also interference on Greg from Ivan. I'm getting all my wrestlers confused now. This is why I don't change much. Simmons and JYD defeats George South and Mike Tarr. JYD I think is out for the year and he's probably going to retire, so we have Ron Simmons and the Great Muta. TARDIS Mechanic, hello, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Singles, male. Oh no, we need to do heels, don't we? Let's do Big Gene and Rip Rogers. Why not? Easy little match. Stick Muta over since he lost in the last one. Pillman defeated Richard Morton in a non-title match. Instead we can do Brian Pillman defeating Billy Robinson. Perfect. Oh no, not Billy Robinson, the victor. Jesus. Brian Pillman. And we can make this steal the show. WCW Wrestling. It's going well. It's going well. I'm doing alright, thank you. I'm not doing too bad. WCW chugging along. Chugging along. It's getting great ratings as stuff goes on. WWF, we were in a bit of a slump where at the end of shows we were constantly getting not enough interesting storylines. But thankfully that seems to be fading out now. Let's do Sting against... So he beats Mark Canterbury, who I think ends up becoming whoever from... Mark Canterbury, the guy from WWF. The Goodwins, I think they're called. You all know what I mean about Mark Canterbury. Instead we can have Sting beat Koji Kanemoto. I actually had plans to fit him in somewhere and just never had the chance. Rude gets a squash win. I have. Actually, if you look at the Stan Miguel YouTube channel, little plug for you there, the only thing I'm subscribed to is that WCW YouTube channel. You may realise from that it is not the channel I use to watch things. That's a little bit of a look into my life. Heel mail. So Rick Rude defeats Greg Casey instead. I might just him against Johnny Saint actually. Johnny Saint not getting the recognition he should in this save. Rick Rude goes over. We don't need a title match. And then Scott Steiner defeats Steve Austin by DQ. Steiner battles back to the floor and they head to the ring. Steiner plants Austin with a double underhook powerbomb before absorbing some offense. 8 Ball of DOA was 8 Ball of DOA, was that the Harris twins? Or were they a different name in DOA? Perfect. Sorry about that. Steiner plants Austin with a double underhook power bomb after absorbing some offense. Steiner hits belly to belly suplex as well. Steiner hits the Frankensteiner, but the DA enters to attack Steiner. Henry Goodwin, yes. I knew he was one of the Goodwins. I couldn't remember which one. It's instead, just because it's the main event, let's have the Steiners, because they're only well known against Arn Anderson, and who's well known? Austin's well known, so that's fine. So 15 minutes. Scott wins in a storytelling match by DQ after interference on Scott from Rick Rude and interference on Rick by Medusa. Perfect. So Paulie comes out to talk to Jim Ross. Dangerously admits that he was dressed like a ninja, but that wasn't part of the Steamboat Rude match. Dangerously is going to... Wait, what's this all about? What have we missed? Are they thinking of taking the US title off Rick Rude because of... Right, we're not going to put that angle in because I don't understand it. We've missed a show somewhere. What's this? 314? Yeah, we're 314. So, World Championship Wrestling opening. I think these are taped at different times, so I never fully know what's going on. Let's add our usual opening. Perfect. So after the match, after that tag team match, Eric Bischoff interviews the winners. Rhodes tells Zbyszko and Austin that their issues are not over and they will meet in a bunkhouse match at some point. Williams says there is a score to be settled between the two teams. He says they will experience pain like never before. In bunkhouse, that's fine. We know what we mean. Let's have Eric Bischoff as the interviewer, with Dustin Rhodes putting a promo on Barry Windham, on Steve Austin, not Steve Armstrong, which is a mistake, literally added in, which I've done before, and Larry Zbyszko. Perfect. So what's next? Oh, Larry Zbyszko gets a quick little squash. From the Greg Valentine Bagwell match, Taylor and Valentine beat down Zenk and Bagwell, with Valentine hitting the figure 4 on Zenk. Instead of Zenk, we have Ivan. Oh, hello, little one. Are you looking for your food? We will have to pause this while I feed my cat, because someone hasn't been out of bed, has she? Huh? What have you got today? Are you looking forward to turkey? Go on, have some turkey. Are you doing good? Are you not going to sleep tonight? I missed you too. I've been home for hours. You haven't bothered to come see me. There's loads in this packet. You're not letting me get it out. Get that little piece out. Just back it up. You've got it. There we go. Good girl. I love you too. Very turkey. There we go. Got that out of the way. Taylor and Valentine beat down Ivan and Bagwell, with Valentine putting the figure 4 on Ivan. So we have Terry Taylor, Greg Valentine, Ivan Volkov, and Greg Valentine, Ivan, Terry Taylor, and Marcus Bagwell. Perfect. Pillman rose up Morton with a bridge for the win. And then the main event, and actually there's not much angles going on this whole show. Dangerous Lion enters to attack Steiner. Rick Steiner enters but is dumped to the floor by Anderson. Rick plants Anderson. Who's Anderson? Anderson. Rick plants Anderson with a top rope bulldog, that's it. I assume. Oh, Rick Steiner. They're starting to attack Steiner. Rick Steiner entered, was dumped for Arn. Rick plants Arn with a bulldog, top rope. Perfect. So let's do Arn, Rick Rude, Bobby Eaton, Medusa, Larry, Steve Austin, and then we have Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner. Perfect. We can just quickly add in. Oh, I need to move that down. Here. We can add a Super Brawl 2 recap. Just some simple angles to end. Well, to fill in the rest of the stuff for the show. Hillman calls out Johnny Be Bad, but he doesn't answer. The sound, exactly. Johnny Be Bad off screen with Brian Pillman cutting a promo. 2 minutes is good. Let's have a WCW at the Omni show rundown. 3 minutes again. Just simple angles to kind of get stuff up, but no. Not run stuff down. Perfect, didn't mean to click on that. Wait, how did you add multiple people to the angle like that? If you just click here, just literally just click, then you have all these people instead of just trawling through this. Learn something new every day. So we need to add a little angle here. Recap of the aftermath of Super Brawl 2. Yeah, you're going to be using this all the time now. Makes life so much easier. Especially if you want to add mass people. Or it's just kind of annoying to add others. Must cut 9 minutes. I can cut some minutes, but got a few more angles to fit in. Perfect. How many more angles do we need, to be fair? Or just the one? WCW. Clash of Champions recap. I'm sorry this has been like an oddly... Like, I feel like I'm struggling with Worldwide at the moment. Because it isn't necessarily a show that, like... I think the results do come back. I don't know why all of a sudden things are missing. Like, all the shows are there, recapped, and then all of a sudden it's all disappeared. 65% matches, we're at 66. I don't think this will be the best show, if I'm completely honest. Although I don't really have that many people. Oh, Habe Abrams UWF, that does make sense. I suppose you're only really putting, what, 2 or 3 people in an angle? World Championship Wrestling opening did bits. Wyndham and Rhodes defeated Cactus and Page when Wyndham pinned Page with a superplex. Hello, will you come say hello? After the match, Bischoff interviews the winners. Rhodes tells Zbyszko and Austin that their issues are not over and they will meet him in a bunkhouse match. Wyndham says there's a score to be set up between the two teams, and he says they will experience pain like never before. Larry defeated Joey Maggs in 34 seconds with a Larry Land Dreamer. Yeah, let's get Bruiser Brody in an angle. Recap of the aftermath of the Super Brawl 2. Greg defeated Bagwell with a figure 4 after interference from Terry Taylor. During the match, we also had Ivan run in and attack Valentine. Taylor and Valentine beat down Ivan and Bagwell, with Valentine putting the figure 4 on Ivan. An extremely short match, Simmons and Muta defeated Gene and Rogers, when Muta pinned Gene with a Shining Wizard. WCW The Omni Show rundown. Pillman defeated Billy Robinson in 4:49 with an air Pillman. Pillman calls out Johnny B. Bad, but he doesn't answer. Sting defeated Koji Kanemoto in 3:38 with a Stinger Splash. Koji should absolutely be getting higher ratings, so those skills do not be as good as they should be. Super Brawl 2 recap. Rick Rude defeated. I knew this would be good. Rick Rude defeated Johnny Saint in 7:10 with a Rude Awakening. Clash of Champions recap. Then the main event, the Steiner brothers defeated the Dangerous Alliance when Arn was disqualified when Rick Rude ran in and attacked Scott. During the match, we also had Medusa attack Rick. The Dangerous Alliance enter to attack Steiner. The language barrier would be a thing if Koji was in any kind of angle. When it comes to matches, I don't think it makes a difference. Rick plants Anderson with a top rope bulldog. 75, 18 regions. We're getting there, boys. 85 grand. Look at us. We're getting back up. We were struggling for a while at the start, like. Right. I am going to end the stream here. It's been close to 3 hours. This is one of the longest streams I've done, so I appreciate anyone that stuck around. Timu, Geronolet, TARDIS Mechanic, thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with me. Didn't have a great day. This has made it better. To anyone that's popped in and hasn't chatted, for once I saw the viewers get up to like 4 people. And that's wilding. I haven't seen that before. So, up the ticks. Thank you very much. We will eventually make it to WrestleMania. Who knows when, why, or how, but we will. So I appreciate it beyond belief. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a lovely night. Stay safe. Look after each other.